Welcome to T Boys TV. We're back again with another Hat Show, see episode 176. And in this one, as you can see by the background, we will be discussing that Wolverhampton game on Saturday. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Like always, I'm joined with Dad. How are we, Dad?
Yeah, all good, mate. Hope everyone's cool.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Big up to everyone that was waiting as well and smashed the like on the stream. Paul being one of them. Good evening, lads. Big up to yourself, mate. And big up to Chris as well. Says big up, lads. Hope you're well. We are good. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So Wolves. Now again, another positive to look at when the lineup come out. Elijah was back involved within the squad, which is very good to see. Again, like I said on the vlog from home, do make sure you check that out if you haven't already. Shout out to Jackie. She did actually call it that he'd be on the bench. But yeah, the lineup, Kaminsky in goal, back three of Osho, Mengi and Burke, Doughty on the left, Hashioka on the right. Like I said on the vlog from home, I completely forgot about him. It sounds quite bad, but it's just because when he has played, he hasn't played on that side really. Yeah, it's his first time actually playing in his main position in this game. Barkley and Lukonga, of course, in the more holding midfield roles, and then Chong, Clark, and Morris. Bit surprised he went with Clark again, if I'm going to be honest, in this game. I thought, like I said, like we have been saying, Townsend's not been on the best of form, but still, the type of game it is away, I thought he'd maybe go with it. As for the bench, obviously, like I say, Elijah being back, that was massive. Berry, Johnson, Krul, Ruddock, Fred, Shea, Townsend, Woodrow. So that was that. So yeah, that was my thoughts on it. A bit surprised that Clark was still in, but other than that, it's what I would have said. Like I said, I completely forgot about Hashioka. So, it would have been that pretty much for me. So yeah, your thoughts when you saw the lineup, Dad, and the bench, Elijah being back?
Yeah, pretty much what I said, apart from Clark starting. And then it was excellent to see Elijah on the bench, and we've got a couple of options now on the bench. And the Congo starting again, Osho starting again, even though I think he's got a few issues, but he weren't too bad really. It's the strongest sort of lineup with more squad as well. We've been put out for a while. Obviously, we've still got other injuries, and they're probably unlikely to be back. Maybe you never know. Chio might be next on the next game. That'd be excellent. But yeah, it's the main talking point. Obviously, is that Elijah was back, and that could be crucial to us. From my opinion, going forward, I think we need to play two up front for the last three games. Got to go for it. Premier League life is on the line. You're playing to keep in games now. You're playing to win games. So for me, you need two strikers. We know Morris struggles, especially away. Yeah, we've got two home games, but I think we need to put them both on. We've got, or even start Woodrow for the next one and bring Elijah on later on. But we definitely, in my opinion, we need to be starting with two going forward. But yes, it's really good that he's back.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I said, Jackie did call it. And it does look like, me personally, I would say out of the injured lot, the next one to be back, I think it will be Chio. I've just got a feeling, and that will be massive. Before he got the injury, we know he wasn't on the best of form, but to be fair, he was still getting the goals in certain games. You look at Bournemouth, there's a few others as well. On top of my head, I just can't remember them exactly. So, that will be massive.
It's Liverpool, even though
Yeah,
we lost.
yeah, of course, yeah, exactly. So that's that. But yeah, moving on to the first half now. Again, I thought we had spells of a good first half. We had a few big chances. Ross Barkley had a shot. Again, probably a routine save for the keeper in the end, but at least he got it on target. A lot of shots that he's had, the previous games, especially the recent ones, they've been over the bar, blazed over. But at least this one was on target. Morris had two headers. Obviously, the first one, it's a bit of a difficult one for me, but the second one, maybe he's got to try and, put it to either side. I do think that was a good opportunity, we could have got from that. And then obviously they started to get a bit of momentum towards the end of the half. I'd say Hwang had a shot, Kaminsky with a save, and then Osho with a block. That was a good bit of defending by them two. And then obviously, like I say, they got momentum, they got that goal, and yeah, it wasn't great from Reece Burke. If I'm going to be honest, don't know what it is. The last couple of games, he's not been the best. He should have cleared it for me. Just clear your lines. We shouldn't even be in that position. For that danger. Especially against a team like Wolves who do have that attacking threat. Even without players like Neto, they've still got really good attacking players that can hurt us. And you did see that Hwang when we were off air, Dutch. You did say to me when you see him in the lineup, you had a feeling he was going to score, and he did. Again, I felt it was unlucky when it comes to it took a slight touch off Mengi, I believe it was. I thought that was a bit unlucky, but before that we got to be clearing that. Reece Burke just smack it away. There was even a moment earlier on in the game, I believe, or it might have been after. I can't quite remember, where he just cleared it away, and I was like, yeah, just do that. Do you know what I mean? That's what we need to be doing at times, because the way we give away goals so sloppy, man, and they're just so avoidable. And you've seen it a lot this season. Like, just clear your lines, even if you boot it out for a throw, corner, flipping, it's the corner flag, goes out for a throw, or vice versa. I don't care. Just get the ball out. Do you know what I mean? We do make it a bit messy in the box sometimes, and yeah, it's a bit frustrating. But what did you make of the first half, Dad?
Yeah, we were much better than we was against the previous game against Brentford, sorry. But we're still lacking something. It seems to have gone missing. I don't know what it is. The intensity. You can say, they've had a long season, but it's been tough all season. And they've hopefully still got some left in the tank, because they're going to need it. But it was a better performance. But it's the same sort of, like say, Morris probably should have, he got it on target, but he could have easily have headed that in one of the corners, probably, which is a bit disappointing. He knows it, but he's still worked his socks off and ended up scoring anyway. Yeah, but it should have, like, when it came, he should have just lashed at it or headed it, like, straight onto one of our players. But and then it was too late getting back, and they could see the opportunity. I see a lot of people criticising Hashioka, but at the end of the day, he turned after the shot was took, but it took a deflection, so he was turning as if it was going to go into him, and may potentially block it because it took that deflection. And at the end of the day, I understand it to a certain extent, but you can't be making my man a fall guy. At the end of the day, yeah, it's going to take him to get up to speed with the whole. He's come from a different from Belgium. He's Japanese. It's going to take him a little while to bond with the squad as a whole for a start, and have that exact same mentality that they've got. So you can't be, if you start a new school and that, you're not instantly friends with everyone, gel and this, that, and the other, are you? Same as you got to start a new, job. It takes a while, right? And even we'll point out the fact that Mengi, when he was brought in initially, I believe he was brought in as to take, time to do it. He obviously bedded in quicker, but it's his country, his language, etc. And he wasn't meant to start initially. He was meant to just bed in and things like that, and that's what it is. So I'm not looking, but it's the senior players that have been there and done, like, they should be taking. Burke's not terrible, but he's not really been stand out this season. He should have probably just headed that, towards the other defenders that was in his line of vision, rather than trying taking it down and that. When there's so much space, you can't do that. That's where you get exposed. And if we do stay up, and basically he'll have to improve quick, But it would be easier. But if you drop down a league, then you've still got to be on point. Like, we'll see. We're getting too much into that, but yeah, it was a bit of a scrappy It was on target, etc. But it was, again, deflection really when it was not a lot we could do. The Barkley chance early on was good. That was the only thing he done decent in the whole game. Like, and obviously he got rightly substituted. And I think it's a bit frustrated. I know he's saying like maybe the heart's not. And I think it is. But I do believe that if we go down, he'll be leaving us anyway. But whether there's a relegation release or, he wants to be playing Premier League football, he wants to try and get back into European football or something. Do you know what I mean? He's got a few years left in him, and you couldn't really blame him. But he's going to be up against his former club, big point to prove. We keep waiting for this banger, and you know what I mean? Like, let's come on, man. Like, he's played really well this season, to be fair, and like, we want a bit more goals from him, like vital goals, but we'll see. But yeah, it was again a little bit frustrating, but we're away. We didn't expect them to score, so yeah.
Yeah, just moving back to the Hashioka thing quickly as well. You got to think he has been thrown in the deep end a little bit. This is, like I say, this is his first game where he's actually played in that position where we, brought him into play. If we're going to be honest. So again, you got to look at that for me. And I thought he started off the game well. I thought as the game went on, he, wasn't as good, but I still think, like you said, that senior players like Burke, for example, he ain't been good enough the last couple of games. Let's just be honest with it. So, yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And then moving on to the second half, we started absolutely poorly in the start of the second half. Obviously, they got their goal. Too easy. Cross, simple, too easy. I mean, again, I think Hashioka was the one that was meant to be marking. But again, like I say, he started off well. I don't think he was poor the whole game. Some of the comments I see, I think they're a bit overreactionary. Senior players that just ain't been good enough. Like Reece Burke. Let's just be real. I like the guy, do like the guy, but we've got to be real. Players like that have been at the club much longer. We're not good enough in this game. I see. Obviously he was a bit frustrated with that, but too easy. The cross, but the cross again. How many times have we said it? The crosses should not be coming in like how they are. You've seen that in many games as well. So you can't just blame Hashioka there. You've got to blame us for not closing it down. The amount of times, right, we gave them space, and I said the same thing against Brentford was a joke. These are Premier League players at the end of the day. You cannot give them space like that. Like we did, especially like I say, Wolves. They got good players out wide. Fullbacks to up front. I think they're pretty good. If I'm going to be honest. And yeah, we got punished for it, wasn't it? Simple as that, really.
Yeah, like the amount of times that we've let. I think we've done it against Tottenham. We've done it a few times. Short corners. We just can't deal with them. It's like what are you preparing for? Do you know what I mean? And yeah, Hashioka was kind of on that, man. But for me, like, surely Reece Burke should have been in the middle anyway. He's the bigger guy. He's the centre back. Hashioka was playing on the right, so maybe he should have been where Burke was. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I could see he was frustrated in that, but he's not going to win that anyway.
Surely we would have learnt that. Surely you would have thought from Bournemouth, for example. That goal where he went up for it.
Yeah, exactly that. So in my opinion, I felt that, and he's getting there. He needs the help as well. We've discussed this before. You know what I mean?
Even from that Bournemouth game, yeah.
I would have thought, like, Burke should have been more in that central position there. Not, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, trying to. It was obvious what was going on. Short corner, whip it into the box. So yeah, annoying.
Yeah.
Problem. Just conceded our defences. It started off well, obviously with Lockyer and that there, and then since like January or even before then, it's just got to pot. Like our defence, we have started getting battered a few times. Still not as much as potentially we could have done. I don't think we will do now. Worst defeat is what 5-1s. That's we half expected that. Let's be honest. Going into the season, we'd have a couple of them. But yeah, another annoying goal that we could have definitely prevented. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we rallied, which was good to see. We did rally after that. We did see a little bit of fight, more than especially when Elijah come on. Which we'll get into. He definitely made a difference straight away. Yeah, I was a bit like, oh, is he? But he was.
Yeah, because we've seen it before, haven't we? When he's come back, he's like the playoff, for example.
He was straight on it,
Mm.
And I think it hopefully will be for the rest of the season. You know what I mean? Like I said, I think we need to start two up front. You're gonna, if he's fit enough, you start him. But we'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But again, it was another one of them games, not quite as early as previous games, but another one of them games where we go 2-0 down. You know, it's a bit of a mountain, especially away from home. You know, like say, you know, when Elijah come on, there was definitely a difference made. You know, he earned us the corner like straight away. You know, I remember it, and then we started putting a bit of pressure on them. And yeah, you know, obviously we got that goal. Morris, good finish, very good finish. Obviously Doughty played it in. Burke did flick it on. He did get the assist there, to be fair. So, you know, and it was a good finish by Morris. I'll probably say it's the best goal of the game, if I'm going to be honest, because, you know, it was a nice volley by Morris, good finish. You know, just for me personally, especially on the vlog from home, you know, I didn't really celebrate because I knew it'd be one of them games where, you know, we're making it mounting. Because, you know, because we've seen it, you know, a lot of times. Again, all right, there has been the game like Forest, for example, away, where we, you know, brung it back from 2-0. But I just felt with how it was, you know, every time they went forward in this game, we looked nervy, you know, if I'm going to be honest. And that's why they did have a chance before the goal as well. You know, from the counter attack, Reece Burke. I mean, that was a good headed block, you know, to get it away by him. So as much as he, you know, wasn't great for the first goal, you know, and stuff like that, he still did do decent bits. You know, he got an assist. Like I say, done that block there. So, you know, it wasn't as bad as, you know, the Brentford game, for example, you know, for him. Not just him, of course, you know, a lot of players were poor in that game, as we know, but yeah, it was one of them where good goal, but yeah, I just felt, as you would have seen by my celebration, we weren't gonna come back. I mean, I'd have took the draw. You know, I said a draw before the game. I'd have took that and then, you know, try and beat Everton. You know, I'd have been happy with that. You know, and it was frustrating because again, this is a Wolves side. They've got a lot of key players out. They haven't won at home since, you know, after a while. You know, Coventry at home since Coventry in the cup, sorry, which was at home. Since then, they haven't won a game. You know what I mean? So I was sort of thinking, you know, we could get a draw, be a massive point, you know, going into these remaining three, but yeah, it wasn't to be, especially when I look at the other games we played against them. Yes, one of them was a friendly, but still, you know, I felt there was good moments. We weren't even like, you know, used to playing Premier League then. And then the home game, yeah, it's different because it's at Kenilworth Road, but still, I felt, you know, the way we sort of dominated that, and they had, you know, better players, you know, for them available like Neto, etc. I felt, you know, we could get a draw in it, but obviously it wasn't with how the game went. But yeah, what did you make of the goal, Dad?
Yeah, it was good. Well, in certain ways, it was a bit lucky that it come back to Doughty. Because obviously Woodrow volleyed it. I do believe it was a shot. Luckily, it went to Doughty, and he had so much space and time. And when he's got that, he will deliver a you know, good cross and that. His corners, I mean, I don't think we've scored from a corner. Hopefully now we will. Now Elijah's on, but yeah. Again, yeah, good header on by Burke. You know, he has done that a few times, and then yeah, Morris, great finish, no stopping that. You know, as soon as we started rallying, it, you know, and Elijah coming, I did make a difference, but it was a little bit too late. Barry had the shot at the end as well. But yeah, we kind of knew it was done, and then we just, you know, still looking at the table, you know, mathematically still there, but Forest get their two points back, which I've heard, potentially even
yeah, I meant to this week. Yeah.
Then pretty much you can't lose again this season. You've got to win your 2 home games definitely, and you've got to get a result. Obviously, it depends on what they do, you know, but they got Sheffield United next, who are down, or you know, they are at home. They're not they're not terrible at home. Really, I don't think they're terrible anyway, but I think they're a little bit better at home.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
maybe they're going to play for some pride. Like they've got nothing to lose. They're already down. So don't I expect certain players in that team to play with a little bit of freedom. Like Hamer. Like he's done nothing for them.
No.
He's an excellent player. I'd take him at Luton all day long. I think he's
Agree.
started off all right with them, but I think because of what's around him, it's not. So it's not, and I think that's another reason why Barkley's been poor in the last couple of games because no one else is like kind of shown it. You know what I mean? Just it's affected him a little bit mentally. So see, but must win obviously on Friday night under lights at Kenilworth Road. I'm glad they've changed that because if we do get the win, it puts the pressure on, regardless of whether they get points back. And even if they do get their points back before that game, then they might be a bit complacent. They put in a half decent performance against Man City. Let's be honest, but Man City weren't great at all.
No,
they were lucky. Well, the Sheffield, the Nottingham Forest didn't score. Chris Wood.
Yeah, Chris Wood, man. 3 big chances he had. And the one in the first half where he had all that space, I was like, wow. For a team like Man City to be giving him space like that, wow. I just sort of wish they did that against us.
But Sheffield United lead goals, left, right, and centre. I don't know. If you got to expect them to at least get a result, and if they get 2 points back and they get a draw there, that's 3 points. Of if we don't win, that's it. They're 3 points in front of us. We're down at West Ham. I know you don't want to hear that, but
Jamie, that's not going to be good for.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you want to know the backstory, people, that's why that won't be good for me. Because obviously it won't be good for a lot of us, but it won't be good for me because obviously I live with a stepdad who is a West Ham fan. So, yeah, that's not going to be great. So hopefully let's get the win on Friday and then we won't have to worry about that, when it comes to that. But, yeah, obviously we had a chance right at the end as well. Luke Berry, I mean, he come on, put in a shift like he, has been. To be fair, obviously we lost that game and stuff, but he even got the goal against Brentford, didn't he? So he puts in that shift when he comes on. Yeah, he had an opportunity. Again, is that one maybe where he could put it to the side, similar to Morris's header?
Maybe, but he was quite far out. It's pressure on him. I'm not, got it on target in the day.
Yeah, I'll give us that. Our shooting was much better in the sense of, usually we shoot sometimes and it's blazed over the bar. It was actually, we had quite a lot of shots on target, to be fair. So that is a positive, I guess, but overall, you look at certain stuff, just the goal, the first goal, very annoying. Well, both goals, to be honest, very annoying. The Morris header, maybe. But again, he did score, so I'm not going to be too harsh on him. And he you can see before Elijah come back in, that he has been struggling up there by himself. And it is difficult, it is difficult. So, yeah, it's one of them, where, hopefully him and Elijah do start, the next couple of games. Maybe, I don't know. We'll have a little discussion towards the end about the formation going forward, etc. So yeah, that's that on the game. Let's get into the player ratings. So we'll start off with Kaminsky. Again, he made a few good saves. Again, can't really blame him for the goals. There was a moment towards the end of the game that did really annoy me though, and it annoyed Rob Edwards, Lokonga, and Kaminsky. Playing it short when we need to go up there and get a goal or get a goal. Sorry, just pump it up there.
It was like school. You kick it. No, you kick it. What are we doing?
Panic it was pathetic. Let's be honest.
No, Kaminsky's not really like that. A couple of his kicks were out of play, but it affects. That's the thing. He's been fighting all season. You can't give him no crap really. Like a few games, there was a couple different, but since then, he's prevented us being totally battered and things like that. So
yeah, And like I say, there was still some saves in this game. Which
Yeah,
I remember at one point the commentator was like, surely 3-0, something like that, and he saved it. Do you know what I mean? So his saves was good. I just didn't like what he done at the end with Lokonga. That's all. But I was still, he's not getting a low rating for that. For me, he's getting he's going to get 6.5 from me.
I thought the same. I've just said, yeah, 6.5.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Jackie's rating is a 7 for Kaminsky. And Paul's rating is also a 7. Let's go through some more comments as well. A lot of comments flying in. Big up to Spencer. Been a while since seen you in the chat, mate. And he says, hey, T and everyone. Big up to yourself, mate. Hope you're well. Jackie also says, hi, Ty Daz. I thought Elijah looked very fit. The team perked up. I wish the subs come on 10 minutes earlier. Yeah, I was sort of thinking that myself, actually. Because that's another thing that made me feel, now we're not going to bring it back because, the subs were a bit later on. The ones I wanted to see. Because I think I might have said to you, Dad, 55th, 60th minute, bring on Elijah. That would have been better for me, that sort of time. Elijah and who else do I want to see come on? It's Townsend, just for the experience side of things. And it didn't quite happen. Annoyingly, I'm surprised. I'm surprised Townsend didn't come on. If I'm going to be honest, he didn't even come on in the game. It was a bit surprising, to be honest. But yeah, that's that. And then moving on to the next player, we'll start off with Burke. Like I say, the first goal for me could have done better, but then again, he still, had decent moments in the game. He got the assist, like I say, flicked it on to Morris. He done that header block, which again, I think Kaminsky was probably beaten there because it was quite, a rocket of a shot. So again, there was some positives from Burke. So again, I'm not going to go too low. I'll go with an average 6.
I'll give him 6.5. He got the assist, as you said. But other than that, not, it's the whole unit though. It's the whole team, so it's hard to, be harsh, but still, I'll just give him 6.5.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Jackie's gone with the same. On that, Paul's gone with 5.5. Fair enough. I mean, if he didn't get the assist and that, I can't lie, maybe he'd have done that header block. Maybe I'd have gone with the same. Moving on to Mengi. He is my man of the match. Again, I thought he was really, really good, with his tackling. The way he just gets stuck in, sliding tackles to win the ball back. It's so physical. And even though Huang did score, that weren't really down to Mengi. I felt he done all right against him, to be honest, in the game. So he is my man of the match. Obviously, we did concede 2 and lose the game, so I can't go too high. I will go with a 7.5.
I'll give him 7. But again, this, what you're getting from Mengi now, don't you? He's pretty consistent generally. I think what was the game where he was? I think it was a cup game.
City, was that one?
No, I think it was
or might have been Bolton away.
I can't remember, possibly, but yeah, it one poor game. It's decent pretty much in every game, and he needs the help around him as well. But he put in some decent, but battled well with Wang, I thought, because he's a strong guy, that Wang. So yeah, I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, that's fair enough. 7.5 as well. Paul's gone with the same as me, and Jackie has also gone with 7.5 as well. Mengi. Moving on to Osho. Again, I thought it was decent game from him. I can't really think of too much, wrong from him. There was obviously that block that he done after the Kaminsky save in the first half, blocked it out for a corner. And again, I thought he was decent. He wasn't the player I put in my lineup because I went with a back 4. Maybe you could argue to put him in over Burke if you're to do that. But yeah, I'm gonna say for Osho, like I say, I can't think of too much wrong for him, so I'll go 6.5.
Yeah, I'll give him 6.5. Like I say, I've heard he's carrying, he's having injections and stuff. He's still not fully fit. So he's not. You can tell he's not at 100% yet, because when he can, he normally breaks out, sort of carries the ball forward more and things like that. And plus for me, I don't know. It's like he's kind of playing in that Bell position. And yeah, he can play there, but I think he's better maybe on the Burke side. On the right hand side, but it is what it is. Still getting back in. I still think he's going to have a vital part to play. I reckon he could get us a goal before the end of the season. I'll give him a 6.5.
Yeah, going towards that back line. If you are to back three, I know obviously we'll get into formation a bit after this, but I know a few people have said maybe about changing it up. But if you are to go with a back three and you have them three, me personally, I'll probably go Mengi on the left because he can play there, as we know. Osho in the middle, because I feel Osho as well. He is good at going forward, and I feel the middle player is the best one to do that really at times.
Yeah, he has done it, but I'm not sure. I don't know, Matt. I'd probably keep Mengi in the middle and maybe swap Burke and Osho around, maybe.
I'm a little bit sceptical just because of that game against Burnley with Burke on the left.
But I think he played in that position against City, and yeah, we lost. But there was another game. What can we do? I just feel that Mengi's better in the middle. We'll see. It could happen, or chop and change him throughout the game. I don't know.
Yeah,
cool one, isn't it? Anderson could probably play in the Osho position, even in Mengi's position as well. But then hopefully, you never know, he might be back on the bench for the next couple of games, possibly as well.
I mean, hopefully, we know he started off the season pretty well. To be fair to him, considering he's never played in the Premier League before. So yeah, hopefully, yeah, I see a lot of his recovery on Instagram, his recovery stuff. So it looks more positive and positive as days go on. So hopefully, at some point before the end of the season, Paul's gone 5.5 for Osho. Interesting, fair enough. And Jackie has gone with a 6.5. Again, same as us there. Moving on to the wing backs, we'll start off with Hashioka again. Like I say, I felt he started the game decent. I remember there was a stage where we were saying that, he's probably the best player so far.
Yeah.
Opening 20 minutes, I'd say. But then as the game went on, obviously, not too great. But again, I'm not going to be too critical of him because he's been, he's had to be, thrown in the deep end. Let's be honest now, this is his first game playing in that position, which we actually brought him in for. And it's Premier League football. It's just English football as a whole. Like you said, that it's completely different to where he was playing. So I'm not gonna go too low on him. If I'm going to be honest, I'm going to go about average 6.
I'll give him 6.5. I think the people calling him out over that. Yeah, I know when we lost the Bournemouth game, he was terrible in that game. He was. And he got hauled off at half time, but he went terrible in this game at all. And that's the first time he's playing his position. Get used to it because I think he'll be playing in that position for the rest of the season. I can't really see Fred coming in there. Not really. I don't think so. Maybe. Can't see it. Possibly Chio.
Maybe even. Actually, I don't know. I was going to say Townsend because we have seen him play there a few times.
Yeah, it all depends on what we do with the formation, but I don't think he was that terrible. I think the cross should have been stopped in the first place. That's not in his position to do that. That way, Doughty and all that should have been dealing with that. Maybe even Osho. So yeah, I'll give him 6.5.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Paul's gone with 6 again, same as me. Jackie has said 6 as well. He was thrown in the deep end. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's his first time playing in that position, which we brought him in for. He started the game well, and then obviously it wasn't as great. But he started the game off well. If he was poor the whole game, then yeah, a bit more understandable. Again, I've got people still say the same things.
Yeah, he was snappy with his tackles.
Yeah.
But when they started pushing us back, then he went that effective. With a couple of passes where he could have done better with. But come on, man! There was terrible passes from a few of them.
Yeah. No, exactly. We've seen that last couple of weeks at times. Look at when Townsend was playing and he done that pass to Morris, and it was awful. Especially for a player of his experience, you just expect him to, pass it forward. Yeah, and it was awful because it was good build-up play to actually get out of our area, defensive area, but it's what it is. Big up to David in the chat as well. He says 6.5 for Hashioka, same as you, Dad. Moving on to Doughty again. He's played a lot of football, like we say every time, but I still think he was decent, at times. I don't know why we don't use the left-hand side as much anymore, though. I'm noticing that a lot. And ever since that Bournemouth game, the 4-3 defeat, we weren't really using it. And the first time we used it, we scored from it, in that game. Obviously,
it's almost like, it's too obvious that we're going to. It was successful. Do it.
Yeah.
Use it.
No, I agree. Obviously,
maybe trying to play more expansive football and that, but no. Go back to your strengths. What that's what we need to be doing for the last 3 games.
And the amount of times, right, we have a corner.
Yeah.
Amount of times we have a corner, and I'm like, come on, like this is a good opportunity. Like, come on, set pieces. The amount of times I say off air, Dad, when we're doing a vlog from home, I'm like, we got a corner, and I'm like, come on, like this is our strong point, attacking wise. Let's prove it. Obviously we did in this game with our goal, and that was from his cross. Sometimes his crosses can be a bit iffy, but again, I think that's because he's played a lot of football. Do you know what I mean? He hasn't had that rest, like certain other players. And yeah, like I say, he still played it into Burke, who flicked it on to Morris for a great volley. So yeah, Doughty, he weren't bad for me. So I'm going to go for Doughty. I'm going to go with 6.5.
Yeah, 6.5 as well. I agree.
There you go. So simple as that. Big up to Early Doors in the chat. Says big up Tyler Daz. Big up to yourself, mate. Hope you're well. And then other ratings as well for Doughty 6.5. Says Paul again, same as us. And Jackie has gone with 6.5. Yeah, again, he's knackered. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. So yeah, it's one of them. Maybe very well he does, but again, it goes back to what I say. I feel we need that competition on the right as well. I mean, we might actually have it, going into next season. If we want to keep Kabore potentially, because he ain't getting in that Man City team, like we say. They've got Rico Lewis coming through. They've got Kyle Walker, who, yeah, some people might not like him, but as a footballer, I do think he's probably the best right back in the league, if I'm going to be honest. So
in the world, I'd say.
Yeah, even up there. So again, I don't think he's getting in that team. And, the way he performed up until that injury, since that Villa game, he was really consistent. So maybe he might look at that, and get in. But even when we had, the likes of James Bree, Dre, mate, I always felt we had to get someone else, just for the competition. So maybe it could be like that on the left as well. But then again, it's a bit mad on that left-hand side. It's a bit different, isn't it? Because Doughty's not actually a left wing back, and he's been that consistent. It's crazy, but maybe we might have to get someone in as well alongside him in the sense of an actual player there, and then you can play him, or you could even play him somewhere else. It's interesting, really. Obviously, not more defensive because we know he's more of an attacking-minded player. But then saying that, you look at the Man City game. Yeah, we lost 5-1, but again, it's Man City. He still actually played pretty well defensively. He actually got man of the match from me in that game. So I do agree. with that. And then moving on to Lokonga. Again, got a yellow card in the game. I think I'm just going to go for 6.5.
Yeah, for 6.5. But you can see the quality that it does bring, definitely in that midfield. It's weird because since he's come back in, Barkley's dropped off. But he does win. He's always trying to track back, win tackles, and defend. He's definitely, apart from that little incident with Kaminsky, I felt he was pretty decent, to be fair. but I would have given him a 7, but I'm going to give him a 6.5.
Fair enough. I mean, Paul's gone quite high. Interesting. He's gone 7.5 for Lokonga. I do still believe, though, Lokonga will be influential in these last 3 games at some point. It has to be. He's a lone player. Usually you don't want to, as the saying goes, you don't want to fall in love with a lone player. So they always tend to do something good at some point. And not like he hasn't before. Obviously he has, but I mean, since he's come back, he's not been super duper great, in my opinion, but I reckon he will come, good in these next 3 games at 1 a.m. for sure. 7 says Jackie. David's gone with 5. Interesting. David was, obviously at the game. I hope you enjoyed it, mate. I see the atmosphere is quite lively from our end. I forgot Wolves give you the whole bit. I completely forgot about that on the side. So yeah, that was pretty good. I know tickets come out today for West Ham. It was 3,000, so that's going to be interesting to everyone that goes to that. And then moving on to Barkley. Again, not the best of games. He had that shot. At least it was on target, but overall, I didn't feel his game was too great. But then again, Dad, it could be what you said. He's sort of, he's sort of near there. Do you know what I mean? And he, certain players are not catching on to what he does sometimes. Like when he holds up the ball. Some people get frustrated with it. Me personally, I don't. Sometimes I do, but sometimes I don't. But then the reason I don't is because, like I've said, the players don't, realise it sometimes. When he's on the ball, he's looking for them options. But yeah, not the best of games for him, but it wasn't terrible. And I still think, again, similar to Lokonga, he will be influential. And hopefully, if you're going to predict a game to do it, you would say Friday, wouldn't you? Previous former club, at home under the lights. So for me, I'm going to go 6.5.
I'll give him a 6. It was probably one of the poorest games. Shot, but got it on target. It was a decent shot, but other than that, it just weren't effective as he normally is, and he got hooked off like in the second half. But I'm sure that's not it from him this season. I'm sure he's still going to have some good moments with us and then help us. And now we've got Elijah back, and if we do play 2 up front, then if anyone's going to find a perfect pass to him and things like that, it's going to be him or the Congo. So yeah, I'll give him a 6 for this game.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, Paul's gone with the same as well. Barkley 6.5. So again, Jackie's gone with the same as me, and so is David as well. He also says atmosphere was good, but just really frustrating. Yeah, could imagine. 2 avoidable goals for me. First one, like I said, you've got to be clearing your lines, Burke, in my opinion. The second one, again, it's similar goals to what we've conceded at times. Cross is too easy. And yeah, just went in, So yeah, and then moving on to the front 3, we'll start off with Chong. Again, he tried to get in the game, tried to have moments. His passing was a little bit off, compared to what we have seen of him, should I say. But again, it's interesting. I mean, we got Elijah back now. Like I say, they have 2 up front. What does that mean for him? It's all interesting, but then again, there's maybe other things you can look at. You maybe still go with 3 and then have Morris behind, Elijah ahead, Chong on the right, maybe. There's a few things you can do now that Elijah's back. But yeah, he tried, but yeah, it wasn't as good as what we have seen, especially in games like Tottenham, for example. I know it's a bit different. He scored, but just not quite as influential as we know he can be. So for me, I'll go 6.5 again. A lot of them coming up.
I'll give him a 6. I think it was a bit of an off game. He still gets muscled off the ball way too easily. But I'm sure that'll get better. But yeah, just not influential enough. Maybe he has played a lot of games recently. And he's been pretty decent, and that it is an awkward one going forward. Because if we stick with the formation we got like before, I think Elijah was playing in that position, or Morris was. They switched on to
changing. They were, yeah.
You could, for me, I'd have Townsend. I'd want Townsend the pace. I'd want Townsend on the right, Morris in the middle, and Elijah on the other side, or them 2 up front. And then it's difficult. We'll try and work it out, but Yeah, I'll give him a 6 for this game.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Jackie's gone 6.5. David's gone with 5, and Paul also went with well, he went different. He went 5.5. So all interesting, all different ratings for Chong there. Then moving on to Clark again. I feel in the opening, a couple of minutes he was decent. He's getting on the ball, trying to make things happen. But as the game went on, I don't think he was too great. Quite sloppy in possession, which we have seen at times. Especially in like the Bournemouth first half, for example. Yeah, second half he stepped up. Credit to him for that. But he has done that at times, been quite sloppy in possession. And yeah, it is a little bit frustrating. Like I said, I was surprised that he started as well. I'm surprised it weren't Townsend. So yeah, Clark, I'm going to go for 6.
Yeah, I agree. I'll give him a 6 as well. Not, again, another one who's played a lot of games. Maybe he's potentially he can score. We give him opportunities in that. He's obviously got quality, striking the ball and stuff like that. But it's just his timing of his passing and things like that. It's not quite up to Premier League, level. Is it? It's got to be a lot more quicker or decisive, or look for the other option or whatever. He just doesn't seem to have that. So I'll give him a 6.
Yeah, fair enough. Paul's gone with 5.5. David's gone with 6 as well. Clark loving what 6. Yeah, it's pretty much the same as me. If I was to get asked favourite Luton, I probably would say him. But yeah, you got to be honest. It wasn't great from him. And then moving on to Morris, last player out that starting 11. Again, that header, the second one, I felt he should have done better. Like we said, they put it to the side. Whatever side, I feel would have been a good opportunity. But then again, he did still score in this game. He is now the top scorer for us as well this season as it stands. But Elijah's back, so that's going to be interesting how that ends up. Obviously, he's on double figures now, Morris. So fair play to him for that. Good finish, like I say, best goal of the game, in my opinion. So for Morris, I'll go over 6.5 just because of that header. Their second one, anyway.
Well, obviously, he's my man of the match. Captain. He led the line pretty well. He was getting them opportunities. Yeah, he should have done better with that header, but he got the goal. He was leading the line well, and I think it is probably was one of the best performance. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to give him a 7.5.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, he would be my close second, to be honest. Like I say, good goal. And, you can see that he was struggling a bit until Elijah come on. And that's just how it's been because it is, quite hard for him, obviously, there up front, especially when games where he's getting fouled, grabbed on and all that and don't get free kicks half the time. So very rare that he does, as we all know. And then moving on to the subs, Berry, like I say, I felt he was quite impactful in the game. He has been really, like I say, since that Everton FA Cup game. He has tried to put in, come on and put in a shift. I'll be honest, I don't think he's Premier League level, but again, he does put in a shift and he is trying for the team. So I've got to give him credit for that. Obviously, he had that shot. At least he put it on target. But again, like I said, I felt we weren't going to bring it back anyway. I know we like to do things the hard way, but just, I've seen it too many times where we go 2-0 down. The only one, like I say, we've done it from memory is Forest this year, where we've brought it back. So, yeah, I'm going to say for Berry, do you know what? For Berry, I will go with a 6 for Berry.
I'm going to give all 3 substitutes 6.5.
You put Fred in that as well.
Fred come on, did he? Well, no.
Yeah.
Fred non-applicable, whatever, 6.
Yeah.
I do feel that they all made a difference. Obviously, Elijah was the most noticeable one. He won the corner that led to the goal, but then Woodrow, his shot was screw with, but at the end of the day, it still led to the goal. He was working hard, tracking back, and occupying them in the last 15 minutes, the same as Berry was. all three of them like definitely made an impact. So I'm going to give all three of them 6.5.
6.5, and then Fred, I'll just go average 6. That's mine. I did think Woodrow's quite good in the game, like you said there as well, Dad. You know, when he come on, he was trying to make things happen. His passing,
And he
his
had
rate
another
of
shot
passing
as
was
well,
pretty
which
good as
weren't
well.
too far. He tried to place it, went too, far
Mm.
wide. You know what I mean, he's putting in them shots. You never know. Like, he's capable of it, isn't he?
And I do feel we have to do that more. Obviously, certain players have tried it, you know, Ross Barkley, Morris a few times this season, but I feel we've got to try and take pop shots more, especially when we play Brentford, man. I wanted to see that more because I know their keeper's a bit iffy. I know their fans don't really rate him that highly. And I was thinking, you know, try and take pop shots, but we know what Pickford can be like, don't we? Especially playing out distribution wise. So if he does that, you know, it's a good opportunity. And it's not like he's done it once, rarely this season. He's done it against Chelsea. He'd done it a game before that, I think, you know, so we know he's capable of doing that. So if he does that, hopefully we capitalise on that. But yeah, that's that. Jackie from Morris, she's gone with an 8. And then Berry 6.5, and then all 6.5 for everyone else as well. That come on. Paul's ratings as well. I'll just go through his. Woodrow 6, Elijah 6.5, Fred 5.5. Fair enough. I mean, yeah, Fred's a bit of a difficult one because, to be fair, he did come on with literally 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? It's 1 a.m. Big up to Liverpool 12th man in the chat. He says, hoping you guys can pull out these 9 points and get some help from those you chase. Yeah. I mean, the next 2 home games we need to win, in my opinion. I would take a draw at West Ham. You know, I mean, yeah, ideally you want to try and win all of them, but I just think West Ham away, man, that's just the one I look at, and I think, I don't know, man. I mean, might not have nothing to play for. You know, they are sort of outside push for Europe, but I don't know, man. It's just one of them. I think they've got them players that could hurt us on the day, and it is away as well. But the other 2, we need to win. You know, we need to win for me. No excuses. So, yeah, but big up to yourself, mate. But yeah, Dad, any final things you want to say on the game?
No, it's just, it does. There is still enough there, but it's just difficult, and it's our half a foot in the Championship, like half expecting that to happen and preparing for that, and looking at the positives for that, but then still thinking, you know, we can still do it, and we can still do it, but yeah, it's going to be interesting if Forest get their points back before we play, then that could affect us. Things like that. I don't know. I think they will get 2 points. I can't see them getting all the points back. That would just be ridiculous. But 2, and then obviously next season there's a vote to change, and they're going to base it on whatever the lowest team in the Premier League gets for TV money or something like that. So what the spend limits are. We'll see how that pans out and what the details are, because it means fuck all at the moment. And we might not even be in the league anyway to you know, do all that. But we beat Everton twice. They're guaranteed safety. I'm sure they'll go quite strong, but they might not. They might give a few youngsters a chance. You never know. You know, because obviously Pickford's got the Euros coming up. I'm sure he'll play. But imagine him getting injured ahead of the Euros. You know, so they do tend to do that sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, they would have finished a lot higher up in points deductions. Are they really going to, the most points they'll get back now is 1, probably. Can't see them getting both back. And even if they do, I don't think it's going to make much difference. So they've basically got nothing to play for. Again, if we bring it, which we have to bring it. I thought we'd bring it more against Wolves. It wasn't to be. We kind of did in the last 15 minutes. It was good to see still, but yeah, I think it does help us that they are safe and they're out of it.
Yeah. Obviously, you know, there will be that little seek for revenge from them, you know, even though they are obviously staying up. You know, that game against Brentford definitely confirmed it. But because obviously we beat them twice. But again, it's like we say, we have been saying it when we've been building up to this game. We are at home, if we can beat them away twice, Kenilworth Road is meant to be this fortress, as we know, and we need to show that. We need to be at it from minute one. I know it's difficult to replicate that Brighton game in the sense because we had a lot more players back, but what I mean, we need to do it in the sense of that, in the sense of the press, be on them from minute one, especially like I say, players like Pickford. Look at his distribution; it's shocking. His shot stopping, brilliant, but his distribution is shocking. Seen that in the last couple of weeks.
It's mix and match. Some if he hits it long and he gets it right, he's good at it. But there's always that error. But generally he's good at it, and he's one of the only keepers in the Premier League that likes to do that. So you've got to watch out for that a little bit. But we'll see who they start and things like that. But we'll definitely be stronger, the strongest we can be. And like I say, you got to start Elijah, or you got to start. You got to have two strikers on there somewhere. If we start Woodrow and bring Elijah on like later on, you've got to do it, and we'll see. But obviously we'll get more into that probably on Thursday, I would have thought.
Yeah, Thursday. And we will have an Everton fan joining us as well. So that will be that'll be good. And hopefully for the next remaining 3, we'll have opposition fans on for the next couple of games. Last 3 games, shall I say. So yeah, it's all interesting. But yeah, before I move on to the other last bit, so the points now, everything. Obviously, Barkley and Chong are still joint top with 7. And me voting for Mengi is now putting on 5. You voting for Morrisdad is also putting on 5. So this is going to be interesting. Like I say, we've done it, towards the end of the season, so it's not from the start, but it's going to be interesting to see who wins that. It's getting close between a lot of players there. And also, I know a couple of weeks ago, Luke did do there on Twitter. You can vote for your player of the season, and I didn't do it based on our votes, but I went with Kaminsky. I don't know if anyone else done it. Let me know if you did. I just feel, a lot of the games he's prevented it from being more when we've been poor, and also I just feel sorry for him at times. I was frustrated with him the other day towards the end, him and Lukonga, but overall he's still done good saves in that game. So I can't be too harsh on him. I really can't. And I do feel sorry for him at times. Even when I look at stuff like the Belgium squad, how is he not in that? Like starting. That Forest keeper, man, I don't rate him. But there we go. Another thing for another day, innit? But yeah, Jackie says, either way, I'm still positive. Being in the Premier League has been good. If we go down, we get 2 games a week and we'll go straight back up. We're getting a new stadium. Yeah, without being all doom and gloom, another thing, if we did go down, they are showing 4 times as many games in the EFL next year. So hopefully it'll be in even more games as well to watch, and if we did go down, we'll play them mugs down there on TV, hopefully. So that'll be good and stuff like that. So there is stuff like that to look at as well. And yeah, I believe we should be in the top 6. I know, sometimes, people say that and it don't happen, but I feel we should be. Look at, like you said, Dad, a few times to me off air. You look at the teams that have gone down. This in this season. Look how well they're all doing. If Leicester win tonight, they win the league. Leeds are up there. Southampton, I mean, their recent results ain't been great, but they're still up there. They're still in the playoffs, and I feel we should be at least in the top 6. I mean, if we do go down, let's try and push for automatics. For me, why not? But we'll see. We'll see. Obviously that's all if buts and maybes as it stands with that. And then obviously the scores, Dad, is still 10-9 to me between us 2. Obviously, I said draw, thought we'd maybe win, but again, it's just one of them where it's just, we was thinking it, with how Wolves have been, recently since that Coventry game. I thought it was a good opportunity, man, but it's what it is. But yeah, the last thing I want to touch on before we wrap up. So we briefly said about it earlier. New formation for the remaining 3. So when you say 2 up front, Dad, are you saying that with a cam, or how are you saying it? Let me know.
Yeah, I'd say probably. I think initially 3 at the back was good for us, but I feel like now we ain't got Bell on one side, we ain't got Kabore as well. I don't know. I think maybe we should go 4 at the back. So then it'd have to be a 4-4-2, I guess. You know,
Mm.
are we going to play that, or like a 4-3-2-1, like with a cam, as you said? It's difficult, but if you're going to go for it and do it, then you probably got to do that, and you could bang, Morris Elijah up front. You could put Woodrow in the cam position. I know he's done it before. Leave Barkley in midfield. Well, now we've got Lokonga back. Maybe put Clark alongside him, Berry alongside him, and then push Barkley up. We've got our options there. I feel a little bit to do that. But we'll see what happens. What we've done before, I can't remember how long ago it was now. Do you know what I mean? But there was times when we did have. I can't remember what formation it was, but when Elijah and Morris were both playing, Let me just go back a bit and I'll just have a little check.
Yeah, what I've done as well, while we're here, while we're talking about it, I've got up the formation thing I use. We'll do, we might as well do quickly our lineup. I guess it will be the one that we'll go with against Everton. Or if everyone was fit and we go for 4-4-2, what would you go with? You have to do that quickly?
Yeah, can we do that then?
Yeah, so obviously Kaminsky in goal, goes without saying. Obviously, we're going to go down on the left of the wing back. Right side, I mean, let's base it on now when it comes to the right side. So you still putting Hashioka there, Dad? Or you going someone else? Because that's an interesting one, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he is predominantly, that sided player. Look, as you can see there, right mid, right wing back. So again, could be interesting, if we were to go with this. Now, centre backs, what two are you going with? Obviously, Mengi. That again, that goes without saying. And who you going with alongside? You going Osho or? But then again, you could put Osho on the left, couldn't you? And then Mengi on the right, or that. What are you thinking?
I'll put Osho where Doughty is, and I'll put Doughty further forward.
Okay. So you'd actually go with Doughty as one of the three like midfielders.
Yeah.
4 midfielders, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Oh yeah. I'll see where you're coming from. So I'll just put Doughty there for now. And then who do you say you're putting there? Osho.
Yeah.
Okay. And then obviously I'll put Birking because I'm guessing that's your other one then.
Yeah.
Oh, went down a bit too far. So Osho there. Burke's there. Like that?
Yeah.
Yep. And then, okay, that's interesting. More cover, I guess, yeah. And then who you going with on the right side of the midfield?
Chio or Townsend. I'm going to put Townsend there.
Yeah. No, fair enough. That makes sense. Again, experience. I guess if you are basing it right now, you would say that, wouldn't you? And in the midfield, Barkley and Lokonga.
Yeah.
And then obviously we know the front two people, so I need to go into that on what we've said. So Barkley there. Let us know in the comments how you'd feel about that if we were to go with something like that. I mean, to be fair, there's a few things you can do with that back line. I feel as much as we haven't got, obviously Anderson, etc. There is still a few things you could do there for me, in the sense of, yeah, look, people, he's actually got a picture. Yeah, I'm on. Obviously, the old one we used, he weren't on there, stupidly. Or he was, but there weren't a picture of his face, which is just stupid. But there we go. At least he's on this one. But so something like that. I mean, obviously we know, it could be interesting. I mean, if you had, somebody. If we had Kabore, for example, right, you could maybe even put him on towards that left side more, because we know he did play there a few times, didn't he, in the centre back role? So
Yeah.
maybe you could go with that Hashi on the right. But I just still think he's got a lot to learn, to be honest. And I thought he started off the game well. Just as the game went on, he weren't great. But like I say, he's been thrown in the deep end. English football's a completely new thing to him. Like you said, Dad, it's a bit different with Mengi because obviously he's from England. He's playing English football. So yeah, I mean, Jackie said she likes that. I mean, yeah, I don't mind it, to be fair.
I mean, we've also got. I'm looking at the Brighton game. So like the formation we had in that game was 3 at the back, but we had 4 in midfield. Yeah, so we had Kaminsky in goal. We had Burke on the right. So if you could change it to that.
Okay. Yeah. Got you.
And there's some interesting things to take from that as well, because.
Burke was actually on the right, as in the proper right side.
Yeah, 3 at the back. It was Burke. Osho was in the middle. We didn't even have Mengi. I think he was injured. And then Bell was on the left. But obviously we ain't got that now. But you can put up to me. We put Burke, then Mengi, then Osho. And then the midfield would be what we've said it is already. Doughty, Barkley, Lokonga. Chio started that game, but if he's fit, maybe. If he ain't, Townsend. Or Hashioka probably, or Fred.
Yeah.
And then we had the 3 up front, but not direct. Morris was the main man, and then on the left, Elijah got a hat trick from that position. So bang him there, and then obviously Clark was there, but it's that, and you put Townsend there. So you could try that as well.
Yeah. No, it's all interesting, for sure. But yeah, that I think against Brighton it was like a 3-4-2-1. I think something like that. So yeah, more so that. But obviously we'll do our lineup against Everton, of course, on Thursday. So yeah, let's go through the last load of comments before we wrap up. So yeah, there we go with that. Yeah, no, I agree. We have. It's just tight margins.
That's the most annoying thing, because the last couple of games we haven't really, especially the Brexit game.
And the thing is, at the start of the season, like you said earlier, we defended well. It was just putting the ball in the back of the net. Look at that Tottenham game earlier on in the season. If Elijah was firing like he was, before he got injured, then, because he had that really good chance, didn't he? We would have got a point out of that, I believe. Certain other games as well, very unlucky. Liverpool, very unlucky not to beat them at home. Arsenal, very unlucky to lose. Arsenal, look how good they're doing. Do you know what I mean? It's a big guy. And even I know I was a bit critical at the time, but even the second half performance against them at the Emirates, it was really good from us. Looking back at it, it's just a bit frustrating at times. Obviously, don't know what's on. There's not really much going on, but is what it is. When it comes to that, even Man City, took the lead against them in the league and give them a game. In that one anyway. To be fair, even a 5-1, I felt we did for a large parts.
Yeah.
They were quite dominant, but again, you'd expect them to be like that, wouldn't you? So yeah, that's the annoying thing. I remember even the amount of times at the start of the season, Rob Edwards in post matches would say, when we'd previewing the next game, we should have more points than we do, sort of thing. He didn't say it like that, but that's basically what he said. And it's just gutting, it's gutting at times. Especially when you look, it's just 1 point now, but Forest could get more points back, which is, I thought it's stupid. Appeal 2 points just to get 2 points back. Shouldn't even be able to appeal 2 points. Nothing. Do you know what I mean? But there we go. Early Doors also says, you face us soon, Tyler. It'd be good to do a match preview. Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. If you want to do that, just hit me up. Obviously, on whatever social medias you got. Obviously, all mine are in my description of this. Yeah, it's between us and Forest. Me personally, I still think Burnley will go down. It's just where will they finish? third bottom or second bottom. That's how I feel with that. But that game, when they take on Forest, that game could be massive.
If they're still in it with a chance, then they could go out for a win anyway. And they're in good form anyway, so we'll see.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I mean, they got a point at Old Trafford. I know Man United are still not the best, but again, you look at it. To be fair, and it's a very good point, and it keeps them in it. To be honest, I knew it'd be a tight game, but I thought United would edge it. But there we go. Big up to Geordie in the chat, way lads. Big up, mate. Big up, mate. Isaac on fire. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely on fire, mate. I mean, he was my captain for FPL, so that was always good. But yeah, quality, absolute quality. So yeah, there we go. And again, I saw Paul Merson talking about quite a few of them talking about the remaining games and that. And they were saying, ideally, if you could pick, you would like our run in a way. If you're comparing it to Burnley's and Forest's, but it's one of them. That's what I mean. We need to win the last 2 home games and try our best to get a draw at West Ham. That's how I see it. Otherwise, it's not looking great because, like you say, Dad, Forest, rumours coming out that they get them 2 points back, this week. So we need to capitalise and, yeah, hopefully, if it is this week, we find out before that Everton game. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully, it's not on Friday evening when the game is or something like that. So we will see. But obviously, if it does come out before Thursday or on Thursday during the day, then obviously we'll briefly touch on it, I'm sure. So there we go with that. But yeah, Burnley second bottom, I'd say. Yeah, I still think that, to be honest. I do think it's more so out of us and Forest on the other spot. But yeah, any final things you'd like to say, Dad, about anything before we wrap up?
Yeah, it would be ironic if we did, we've got what we're on now, 25 points.
Yeah.
We got 30 points and
oh yeah.
We stayed up, especially with that chant, but Nottingham Forest just don't win any of their last games or whatever, we finish above them. That'd be pretty. That'd be mad. Considering the 30 points we got deducted, hence what the song's about. But if we can stay up on that'd be the closing chapter on that. And that could happen. That actually could happen, and that'd be fitting. You can make a film about that. But we'll see. Yeah. Let's just keep going and see what happens.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the thing, just quickly on this, the thing with Everton this year, without them points deductions, they were actually mid-table, so they were having a better year, for their standards, especially if you compare it to last year. It was shocking last year. It comes down to the last game, didn't it? So, it is one of them. And if you look at how they've played recently, 3 wins on the bounce. They haven't even conceded in any of them 3 either, have they? So they have been good. Have been good. A lot of people go on about Calvert-Lewin. Yeah, he scored against Liverpool, but a few of them games he weren't, overly chipping into what people thought he would. So it's been other players really, isn't it? So he weren't even in the lineup the other day against Brentford. I don't know if he's injured or probably what his injury record's like, but we'll see. We'll see on the team news and stuff like that on Thursday if he's going to be back for our game. But yeah, that is that. So big up to everyone that's tuned in. Just a reminder of content coming up. So Wednesday, there's a rescheduled game, isn't there, between Chelsea and Tottenham. So I'll put my prediction in for that on the community post. And then, like I say, Thursday I'll be back again with a preview with an Everton fan. Friday, watch along. As it stands, is my last watch along of the season. So hopefully I get to witness at least one win on a watch along this season in the Premier League. And then, obviously we'll do a reaction probably on Monday to the game against Everton. And then obviously we play West Ham on next Saturday. So there'll be content coming up for that. Should be some good content coming up. And obviously we'll have a hat show for that as well. And then, if I'm being honest, I don't know about the game yet. For 3 different things that could be happening. So it's all a bit of a madness, really, for that. But either way, there'll be some sort of content out for that. And then, follow me across all my socials. Link to them all in the description. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, the lot. And yeah, I'll say be back again on Thursday on stream for that preview to the Everton game. So yeah, big up to everyone that's tuned in. Smash a like, subscribe, all of that. Subscribe to the extra channel as well. And we will see you lot in a bit. So take care and peace.